Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros. This is the Waiver Wire live stream for Week 13. It is me, Joey P. Joe Pisapia with me, as always, is D-Bro, Derek Brown, the King of Bros. Guess who's back, everybody? We thought we were going away, but it turns out you like us. You really like us. And by popular demand, we are back doing this show on Tuesdays. We thought we were going to wrap things up. We thought Waiver Wire is coming to an end here. We got the podcast. It's the holiday season, but no. All of you out there who continue to watch and comment and rewatch, joining us live, asking questions, here you go. This is what you want. We're giving the people what they want. Derek Brown, can you believe that anybody wants you?
No, but still, here we are, Joe. We're the people's podcast, baby. We're hanging around. We're answering questions. And you know what? I would feel like there was just this gaping hole in my life if I didn't have every Tuesday to talk ball with you. I mean, just keeping it real here, okay?
Well, we didn't get to talk about this on the Waiver Wire pod, so we will get to your questions. If you've got questions, we've got answers. Drop them below in the chat. We're going to take your questions. We love talking to all y'all. And
he said it on accident. Wait, was that product placement? Was that purposeful?
No, I'm leaning into it now because I can't lean out of it. If I could,
no, you can't. You've already done it so many times just on your own that.
So y'all got questions, drop them in the chat. But in the meantime, we did not get to talk about the Frank Reich firing yesterday. Normally, I love to run my little Italian rear end to bet whatever team just fired their head coach and take them to win a game. I'm not doing that this week. I'm not doing it on the road against the Buccaneers. I think the Panthers are that bad. And not only did they get rid of Reich, they got rid of Josh McCown, the quarterback coach. They got rid of Deuce Staley, the running back coach. What do the Panthers look like? I know they're 1-10, but can it actually get worse the rest of the season?
It sure as hell isn't going to get better, Joe. I'll tell you that. And the other thing that I keep throwing out, or keep looking on social media, and we keep finding all these nice little Dave Tepper quotes, and he's like, "I really want a head coach to be here for the next 20 to 30 years." I'm like, that one. Can we hit the under? Can we hit the under on 2 years?
Matt Rule would disagree with you.
I think the other thing was he was like, I want somebody to be the person to what was it? Read the eulogy at my funeral, and I was like, well, okay, we kind of
that one I didn't hear. Wow.
I mean, but I doubt any coach is going to be in the building that long to deal with you to where they'd be willing to do that.
But I heard the thing that they also said that they wanted CJ Stroud. I don't know how they ended up getting turned around to Bryce Young. Who's he blaming that one on? I'm just curious.
Who knows, man? Whoever Tepper gets next, or maybe he'll blame that on Reich. And I will say this. Frank Reich did the right thing, given the one-on-one interview and saying all the right things. Like, this was not a Frank Reich problem, has never been a Frank Reich problem. I still believe in Frank Reich as a head coach and as an offensive coordinator. I'm very excited to see where he lands next year. I mean, if you're an NFL team, Joe, would you have Frank Reich on the hot dial, like basically on the short list of guys you want to call up and take an offensive coordinator job?
100%. I would. He's a great guy. He did a great job with the Colts, and in difficult circumstances after Andrew Luck picked up and left town when nobody really thought that was going to happen. And he kept that team competitive for a few years. So Frank Reich, had a really good long career too. We've been around the league, very respected. And I think Josh McCown's one of these guys too that's going to eventually work his way into a coordinator job, and eventually, I think you're going to see that over time as well. So again, just, the Carolina Panthers, I don't think it's going to get any better. Let's also remind everybody it's the holiday season, which means the Fantasy Pros holiday offer is here for you. And we're excited to share our new customer holiday offer for our premium tools. For a limited time, you can double. That's right. I said it. Double the length of your new subscription when you upgrade to any of the 4 premium plans for free. Get 2 months for the price of 1. Get 12 for the price of 6, or get a full extra year when you upgrade to the annual plan, whether you're looking to make that playoff push or get premium access well into the 2025 season. This offer is for you. Check out fantasypros.com/promo. Take advantage of our holiday offer and double your subscription for free today. It is a crazy good offer, D. I mean, get the annual plan for 24 and 25. I mean, just lock it up. You're going to do it anyway. Just lock it up. Go do it right now. Take advantage of that. Let's take advantage of the questions and our wonderful people here in our chat. We love you all so much. Let's go to WhitFam2003. Hey, Fantasy Pros. Hope all is well for you. I need some help. I need to know if I can drop Josh Downs for Joshua Palmer, and also if I can drop Trey McBride for Patty Freiermuth. Let's start the tight ends. Who would you rather have rest of season, McBride or Patty Freiermuth?
Oh, this is easy, McBride. I'm not going to be a prisoner at the moment. I'm not. I'm happy to see what happened to Freiermuth last week because his fantasy outlook was on life support, but I'm not doing that. Trey McBride's still getting a massive target share, and Kyler, once he finds his legs, I'm still investing in Trey McBride.
All right, Downs and Palmer. Which Josh do you want?
Okay, so this is depending on what is the strength of your team and where are you at. If you're looking at, okay, what can be the piece that puts me over the top in the playoffs? It's Palmer. Do I need to get a win this week or next week? Then it's easy Josh Downs.
There you go. Nim Dibbly. Nim Dibbly. Is that like a character from Narnia or something? It feels like.
I was going to say Lord of the Rings.
Close enough. Actually, it's not close
very
enough.
hobbity.
I don't like Narnia. I love Lord of the Rings.
I was going to say, I thought you were going to go Lord of the Rings. Like the fact that you went
Narnia because it sounds
a
little
wardrobe?
goofier. Nim Dibbly. Hello, I'm Nim Dibbly. Would you like to come into the closet and then we can look around
you
the
sound like
magical
you're out of
world
Harry
Narnia?
Potter. Now you sound like you're out of Potter.
Nim Dibbly sounds like he could be a house elf. Kincaid on a bye. I needed to drop someone for Pat Freiermuth. I'm in first place, but not locked into the playoffs. What kind of league is this? Drop Kincaid, Amari Cooper, Gabe Davis, Cortland Sutton, or not start a tight end this week. I would just drop Gabe Davis. This is pretty easy.
No, Amari Cooper is dealing with the injury, so we don't even know if he's going to play for the next.
Yeah, but I'm not dropping him. I'm dropping Gabe Davis.
That's fair. I mean, I think that you're probably with Amari Cooper. One, Joe Flacco is going to be under center. You probably could drop Amari Cooper and then just have to pay what the price of a brand new sock to get him back.
Dolby's free. Nim Dibbly's free. Oh, goodness, thank you. Ronan the accused. I want to build an offer for Hurts. I have Stroud. My pieces: Breece Hall, Schultz, Stevenson, Cooper, Kupp, Nakua, Herbert. P.S. This guy has Dak at QB. Okay, so basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to peel away Hurts because they've already got Dak and they can't play both of them. So do you just go straight up Cooper Kupp and see if that gets it done and just roll with the other guys? Because I don't think you want to pile up here. Like, I don't think piling up is the way to succeed here just to upgrade a quarterback. Because Stroud's decent.
Like Stroud's not bad either.
He ain't Hurts, though. He ain't number one.
No, he's not Hurts, but Stroud is also a top 5, top 6 guy. I think I honestly think that you use whatever equity that you have, and instead of going after Hurts, you go after a positional player. But if you're really hell-bent on Jalen Hurts, I'd start with the opening ask of or this opening offer of Herbert, like not lowball, but like Herbert and Stroud.
Just Cooper Kupp.
I'm not against that either. If you wanted to go Kupp just straight up for Jalen Hurts, I think you can get that done.
I mean, who scores more fantasy points rest of season? It's Jalen Hurts. I mean, like, I don't think that's a hot take. You know, the concerns with Cooper Kupp over, this. We've sold out that one great season of Cooper Kupp for the rest of his career. That's what's happened here. And if you don't think that's happened, then you're not paying attention. Because that's where we're at with him. He does not have a double-digit game since week 6, D-Bro. Week 6. He is not healthy. Cooper Kupp still has a name. To me, if I'm somebody who has Dak, I actually want to make that trade if I've got Dak and Hurts. I would say, you know what? I can't take this. Give me the lottery ticket of Cooper Kupp. John Tuggle, keep Taysom Hill or pick up Freiermuth.
Keep Taysom.
Anthony Platt, sell Rashad White and George Kittle for Josh Downs, Dotson, and a 25 first-round pick. Rebuilding teams selling White and
That's
Kittle.
Not enough. That's not nearly enough. No.
I mean, it depends. It's a 25. I don't like.
It's a 25. Like you don't even know where that pick is going to be at.
I agree. I want a little bit more.
That's selling 24 way first.
Low. That's fine. Lobo Flores, hey pros, should I drop Deontay Johnson for Rushy Rice?
Yes.
Also,
I would not have a problem you doing that.
Should I trade Jerome Ford for Zach Moss after hearing about JT's injury?
I think. Okay, so I think the answer is yes. And where I have a little bit of pause is we still don't know with the JT injury, but as soon as we have that news, you're not getting Moss for that price tag. Right. So go ahead and make the move. Embrace the risk.
What a wild ride it's been for the Jonathan Taylor manager this year. First, you have 4 weeks where you don't have him to open the season, right? So depending on when you drafted, you either got the discount or you didn't get the discount on him, right? Either way, he doesn't play till week 5. He does nothing for 2 weeks. Then really starts to come on really good. Last week, 2 touchdowns. Now it's week 13 where you need him the most. to get into the playoffs and have a championship run, and there's an injury. I mean, can't make this stuff up, man. Cannot make this stuff up.
It's rough, man. It's a rough run out. And the thing about it is too, and I was actually writing up that game, or in the midst of writing up that game, when that news dropped for the primer, and I'm like, wow, really?
Yeah.
Like, well, at least now we understand why Zach Moss got all the extra run. And dropping on the news lines right now, Joey, I mean, have you just seen this news drop? Justin Jefferson being activated off of IR? Woo-hoo!
I did see that.
We're officially back, baby!
Yeah, in week 14. So, which is kind of what we told you. Yeah, you'll see after the bye. And everyone said we were crazy. Well, which is true. But we were also right. We were also right about that. We said maybe after the bye you get him back, which is great. So if you made the trade for him and you're a playoff team, there you go. But they got it. I mean, last night was not good for the Minnesota Vikings offense.
Do you think they stick with Dobbs, by the way? I mean, I saw the news coming out with Kevin O'Connell, and I'm like, are we really getting that cute? Like, do we really think Jaron Hall and Nick Mullins are better options? Like, come on, man. Like,
I don't. No. Just get Justin Jefferson back on the field and hope for the best here.
Yes.
All right. Fierce Phillip, potentially losing Jonathan Taylor for a while. Should I trade Dotson or a 3rd-round pick to the manager who has Moss? It's a full PPR keeper league.
I would trade like a third, like third in next year's draft. That's too much.
Like, if it's a keeper league, it's not really a third, depending on how many you keep. You know, if it's
I would say trade Dotson. Players. Trade Dotson. I have no problems. Like the third, you're probably going to wish that you didn't make the move, even if you get the ship. If you trade Dotson, I doubt that move comes back to bite you.
Well, we'll see. You know, I don't think Curtis Samuel will be there next year, but I don't know if that changes things. I think that
we don't even know the coach or the coordinator or who the quarterback's going to be next.
To be honest with you, I think that's the enemy's job in waiting. That's what I thought the whole time.
I doubt it. I doubt it. Now, with the new owner coming in, that they're going to want some kind of like pizzazz, some kind of glitz and glam. I bet you they hire Ben Johnson. I bet that's the move.
I was like, there's going to be 7 to 10 coaching openings year over year. I don't know where these guys are coming from, like who are taking these jobs. Did
you see Greg Olson? Greg Olson apparently wants to pull the Jeff Saturday and just come out.
His job's over. So, you know, when Tom Brady takes over next year at Fox, his main I mean, he's still going to be an announcer there, but he's not the number 1 team anymore. So I get that. You know,
get it.
Why not?
Doesn't mean that he needs to be a coach, though.
And he's young enough that he could be the coach of the Panthers and someday do the eulogy for the owner. All right, let's go to Ryan Atwood. See, I got censored there on that one. Do you see what happened? I hate when I get censored on these things. Stop censoring me, John.
That was a good slow burn. I didn't
slip that
in. It took a second for that one to hit.
Yeah, he'll outlive him, you would think. Very healthy guy. Ryan Atwood, should I move Chase? And if so, what range could I seek? Look, man, well, I can't believe you're not moving Chase in the keeper league, number 1. You're not moving him in a dynasty league, number 2. Number 3, I mean, what can you get for him? I don't know, Christian Kirk, maybe? Would you rather have Cortland Sutton rest of season or Jamar Chase? Like,
it's such a rough God.
I think I'd rather have Sutton.
That's a bitter pill to swallow.
But you know why?
I just
did a top 10 bets video on Betting Pros, and I talked about the Broncos to make the playoffs because I went through the Broncos schedule. If they win this week against Houston, they go to the Chargers, then Detroit's a tough game. Then they've got the Patriots, the Chargers, and the Raiders. There's a real path to 10-11 wins for this team.
Yeah.
And if so, they're making the playoffs. And
man,
right now it's
all those Sean Payton is a terrible coach tweets are those are gonna age like old milk, baby.
Look, Cortland Sutton's got 8 touchdowns. He's wide receiver 22 and half PPR. Cortland Sutton be the guy that I would go after. That's a team that's going upwards, an upward trend there.
I think Sutton is a fine target. I also think you can look at somebody like if Seattle can right the ship, can you go after DK Metcalf? Somebody having questions about Calvin Ridley. You can't get Zay Flowers now because he just had a big game. But I think in that range is probably where you're living. Or I'll give you an interesting one, Joe. Who would you take rest of the season? Jamar Chase or Drake London? Because I kind of lean London. Bad quarterbacks on both. But we've seen the long history of Drake London producing despite Desmond Ridder.
That's tough. I mean, it's... I would probably still take Chase. I would.
It's close though, because you just.
It is.
How many sides did you just let out? It's close.
But Sutton's not close. Sutton to me, like that's it. Like that's a move I think you could make. King fan 33-3. I have Kincaid and Goedert. Should I use my waiver wire prior on Freiermuth, or can I drop either one? Why? Goedert hopefully might come back this week. He's talking about coming back because he's such a such a badass. No, you don't need Freiermuth too. You're not
don't need
playing anybody
Freiermuth,
over
not unless you're
Kincaid
gonna trade
anyway.
him.
Kincaid
No.
starting every week anyway. Let's
Yeah.
go to Andrea's question. Still Andrea Styslowsky. There you go. Styslowsky. Andrea Styslowsky. It's a hard one to say. I'm gonna say
Try it
right.
again. Try it again. Try it again. I feel like
I said it right. Styslowsky. Hi everyone. How much
did
fat?
Andrew? Can you please comment in the chat whether he just butchered your name or not?
Styslowsky. Styslowsky.
Well, I know you could spell. That's not what we're talking about here.
I can read too. I can do anything.
Well,
take a look. It's in the book. Hi everyone. How much fab do you put on Zach Moss? I have $48 left. Well, here you go, Andrea. If this is whether or not you're going to make the playoffs, you burn it and you go.
Yep.
Because the who is going to pop up on the waiver wire in the next 2 weeks is really going to worth emptying the tank for.
Yes, and I think the other caveat to that is you go and look at how much fab the rest of your league has and bet $1 above.
Right. Speaking of Jonathan Taylor in that Colts situation, if you want a chance to win a signed Jonathan Taylor jersey, because he might not need it this week, drop a comment below, subscribe to the channel, and you just might win this glorious, beautiful blue Jonathan Taylor jersey. Thanks to Betting Pros, where you can bet smarter, not harder, where you can see me, Joey P, 5 days a week talking betting. I know you can't get enough. I understand. But seriously, we are red hot right now on the Betting Pros channel. So join us over there. And when you do, subscribe to the FP channel, drop the comment below and ring the bell for notifications. You could win this Jonathan Taylor jersey. There you go, everybody. It's beautiful. It's a nice jersey.
That man said he might not need it this week. Wow.
He might not. He might not. He's sitting around.
Just throwing it out there.
I'm just dropping truth bombs today.
I know.
You know,
that's
what happened. My filter's gone. It's week 13.
I didn't know you ever had one.
It's small.
I was fixing to say
it's very small.
It's small. Do you put it up on the shelf and take it down when you need it?
It's right here. It's actually in my ear. This is the size of my filter.
That's pretty fair. Pretty fair.
Sam Parker just got offered Achane, Zay Flowers, and James Conner for Kyren Williams in a full point PPR league. I'll be facing him in the last week of the regular season to determine number one playoff seed. So just looking ahead, Connor, Achane, and Flowers for Kyren Williams. Man, that's a lot for Kyren Williams.
That is a lot. Okay, so this kind of depends on what is the rest of the complexion of your roster. How
about the rest of the season? Here we go. Ready? Cleveland, Baltimore, Washington, New Orleans, Giants. That's the rest of the season there for
who? Kyren?
For Kyren. So Washington, New Orleans, and Giants. It's a hell of a playoff schedule.
Ooh. Man, I think is it crazy that I want to keep Kyren? Like,
it's not. Here's the thing, Sam. The only way if you are hurting with injuries, if you are looking at the rest of your roster and you are thin, then this trade makes sense because Kyren Williams, as good as he might be, at the end of the day, you need other people on your team to score fantasy points. And if you are really underwhelming, let's say you are desperate for a wide receiver 3 and Zay Flowers can go and be that for you, or you are really or maybe you are really deep at running back, right? And Kyren is, this is really roster dependent, Sam. And I know that's kind of a
size of the league dependent too. Like if this is an 8 or a 10 teamer, then I'm leaning Kyren because the other thing I want to throw back at you, Joe, where do you have Kyren Williams? Where would you rank him rest of season in RBs? Because I updated my ranks this morning. And tell me I'm not going to be a prisoner of the moment, but I'm much spicier than that, sir. Look at what he did last week. He's playing the Todd Gurley role.
I'll run through and I'll tell you if McCaffrey, ATN, Bijan, right? I think we can all agree there. Jahmyr Gibbs. I still want Tony Pollard over him. I know that sounds crazy to a lot of people. Austin Ekeler. Healthy Jonathan Taylor. I still want. But this is where the conversation starts to happen. So, yeah, I guess you could go as high as, what do you have him at 6? I'm guessing.
I got him at RB3. Like,
oh, crap.
What? No. Hear me out. CMC and Bijan being the only guys. Like, Travis Etienne, we've seen more Dearness Johnson in the last few weeks. Jahmyr Gibbs still has David Montgomery. Austin Ekeler is still not the true Austin Ekeler in what looks like a broken Chargers team. Like, Kyren is going to get the ball religiously. And the Rams were top 3 in red zone rushing rate. So if they get into the red zone, it's Kyren time, baby. We saw that last week. Like, tell me where I'm wrong, Joe.
You remind me, there's a Game of Thrones episode called Bastards and Broken Things. You remember that? It was
Am
called
I the
Cripples
broken thing or the bastard?
in the first
I'm
season.
asking.
Cripples, Bastards, and Broken Things. That describes
Such a
the
good show.
Patriots Chargers matchup this week. I'm pretty sure I think that's the tagline for it.
Golly, you
Hey,
really did
I'm a
toss the
Patriots.
filter in the
Hey, look,
trash,
I got
man.
my Pat stuff on, baby. I keep it real.
Shoo!
I'll be rooting hard for the Chargers this week.
Who starts for the Patriots this week, Joey? Is it
cares?
Zappy or is it Mac?
I'd love a shot at it, to tell you the truth.
You play H-back. You don't qualify.
I don't understand how they can keep running Mac Jones out there. Like, that's the thing. Like, it just looks so... His confidence is completely gone. You could see it. It's just whatever confidence he had that rookie season, they last year beat it out of him, and then this year it just got horrendous. It was just... It's so bad. And Zappy's not the answer. But you have a shot now.
Is Coach Bill gone after this year?
I think they're going to sit down at the end of the season. And Bill Belichick is in that pantheon of the greatest coaches ever. You're talking about, Paul Brown. You're talking about Don Shula. You're talking about Bill Walsh. You're talking about like the greatest to ever do it, right? And he is in that conversation. And Vince
the last few years,
obviously the greatest, right? So I think at a certain point, though, everybody either outstays their welcome or things change or whatever it is. And you can't quite do. It's very rare you get to finish out your run in this job. I think it was Bum Phillips said there's only two kinds of coaches: those who've been fired and those who are waiting to be fired. That's a great old line from a great old coach.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe a fresh start for everybody is a good idea. And I do think Mike Vrabel's the right guy for that job. At the end of the day, I think he's the guy who can go in, who has the fan base support, who is a Patriot, but not a Belichick tree coaching guy, who has immediate respect, I think, around the league. I think it's a difficult thing, but the biggest problem is the personnel department. That's where things have gone south in the last couple of years.
You don't let the head coach play GM.
And if I'm Bill Belichick, I don't know if I want that. So I think it might come down to, well, we're going to strip you of this. And if he says, well, I don't want that, then that's where the mutual parting goes. And I think that everybody understands it's the time to go and time to move on. But it's a great question. I mean, he's been there for 20 plus years now. I mean, it's incredible.
My big thing is does New England, I don't want one of these young quarterbacks to land there unless they get rid of that entire coaching staff. Like, I don't want New England ruining another young quarterback. That's what I want. But the other side of this, man, is like, and I'm just like percolating this, like percolating. I can't
close enough
say words apparently.
Like when you say nuclear and you add that extra U in.
Yeah, but
well,
it's fair.
Still,
does Josh McDaniels apply for that job?
He doesn't get that job.
I hope he doesn't get that job. But
that job goes, and I think that job is a coveted job because I think the owner is solid. I don't think there's a lot of owners who want to win like Robert Kraft wants to win. You know what I mean? And Robert Kraft has shown you he wanted Belichick, and he was willing to break every rule he could to get Belichick. Belichick was the head coach of the Jets for 24 hours. And then next thing you know, there's a fax going across. So if y'all think that, again, I'm saying y'all, if y'all think that Mike Vrabel is just never going to leave Tennessee, if Kraft wants him, Kraft will find a way.
I think Dominic fires him after this year.
It's a good discussion too. Because I mean, I think it's up for debate too. You got Bo Nix, you got Caleb Williams. I love Penix. I think you got a lot of good young quarterbacks in this draft this year.
I haven't even gone back to the Bo Nix tape, but if anybody's ever watched him outside his first few years in college,
well,
I got big questions about which version of Bo Nix is the real version of Bo Nix. I'm
going to say this about that. I watched him a ton at Auburn, and I was thoroughly unimpressed. This year, I've watched him, and he has made considerable strides. Now, he also plays with behemoth of an offensive line. Those guys are incredible, and they are enormous. They are all NFL-sized linemen, those guys. So it is a very different situation that he had in Auburn. And, of course, he's not playing the SEC. So it's much harder to evaluate him. That's why I like Penix so much, because I feel like Penix is that guy that, go in there and he's special. I
Bo Nix feels like the second coming of Baker Mayfield. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, that might not be too off. Dominic Gazzetti, hope you guys had an awesome Thanksgiving. You too, Dom. I have Otten right now. Should I drop him for Goedert or Chigakonkwo? For Goedert, sure.
Goedert.
Yeah. Cosmic Realm. Do I drop Pierce for Curtis Samuel?
Yes.
So if so, do I start him or JSN in the PPR?
I want to start I want to start both this week.
Really?
We talked about it on the Waiver Wire podcast. I love Curtis Samuel's matchup. We've already seen what go back to last week, what Washington will do when there's a good matchup in the slot, which there is for Samuel. And I think I've already called it out on social media. I think this is the JSN breakout week. We saw Dallas, where you target them is via the slot. And now Carroll, after the Thanksgiving debacle, came out and said, look, we've got to get JSN more involved. I think this is the game where you see him get double-digit targets. So I want to start both of these guys, but it obviously depends on who you're kicking from the starting lineup.
Makes sense. Speaking of the JSN, we're giving away a JSN autographed jersey over on our Betting Pros NFL contest. Sign up today at bettingpros.com/NFL contest, and the grand prize winner gets that bad boy. We're also doing weekly prizes, monthly prizes, upgrades to FP and BP Premium, swag from our shops at BP and FP. So make sure, if you haven't already, download the Betting Pros app. Start betting smarter, not harder, for goodness sake. Click on that community tab, join the NFL contest that way, or just go to bettingpros.com/NFL contest. It's fun. It's free. Don't you like free fun things? Of course you do. Let's go to next one here from Guy Asa. PPR.
I was hoping you were going to pronounce that another way, but okay, keep going.
Again, now we're getting
Thank you for that, John.
Sunlight is shining in again. This is the 3:30 on the button.
You got like the swarthy strip on your face right now.
Very much so. Very much. Yeah. I almost look like a character from Mad Max. I just got this weird strip.
I was going to say God of War.
Okay, that's even better. Yeah, we'll take that. I'll take that. Trade deadline in a few days. Is that surprising to you? I thought most people are done with week 12. Now we're going to 13, 14.
I mean, some leagues kick it back a little bit. I'm all for, if it's keeper leagues and dynasty, no trade deadlines, baby.
Well, that's different.
Within reason.
In regular redraft leagues, that gets awful like colludy. The longer you wait, you know.
Yeah,
I always think it's fair,
but
about collusion and stuff like that. It's very simple. I don't think any team that's eliminated from the playoffs should be allowed to make a trade.
It's fair. Yeah.
If you're outside looking in by a certain week, that's how you stop collusion. You know,
yeah.
As my God of War face starts to click, now I gotta go to this guy here. It's the worst. All right, let's get to Guy's question here. Should I get rid of Kamara with a solid schedule? What to do with Pollard, and how can I turn Cooper Kupp into an elite wide receiver? I don't think you can. With players like Jones, Najee, Javonte, and Debo. The problem here, Guy, is you've got a lot of players that have not quite lived up to the hype. That is the issue here. And I think that you hold Pollard. I think you have to hold Kamara too. I mean,
that entire offense is falling apart around Kamara. He's going to get a ton of work, just like he did last week. He just didn't score the touchdowns, or he would have smashed.
Now, Cooper Kupp, I think, still has some weird cachet out there on the market.
Yep.
Would you rather have Cooper Kupp or Zay Flowers rest of season?
Zay Flowers.
I think you can get Zay plus for Cooper Kupp.
I think you can. Yep, I think you definitely can. I like that call. And if you were also going to, I mean, I'm guessing the other players the guy mentioned here with Najee, if you were to trade Kupp and Najee to tier up at wide receiver, like I think that's a totally fine thing because Jaylen Warren's not going away in this backfield. And I know that Najee ended up with the better game last week, but Warren put the ball on the turf. So Tomlin, being the old school coach that he is, did bench him.
Who is that guy? It's not Jefferson. You're not getting Jefferson for him. I don't think you're getting Keenan Allen. You're not getting Diggs or Amon-Ra. Like, that's it. That's the elite tier. Maybe Brandon Ayuk, but I doubt that. Like, I don't think that's doable. I think your options. That's why I think you trade Kupp, you get Flowers plus, and I think that helps this team a little bit more.
What about somebody that we saw maybe having the breakout we've been waiting, but it was kiboshed by the concussion? What about Chris Olave? I would take Chris Olave over that package for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm good with that too. Claire P. Hi, guys. Should I drop Achane for Pittman? Why is Pittman out there?
It's probably an 8-teamer is what I'm guessing.
So the guy catches 8 balls every single week. It's a full PPR league.
Yeah, I mean, I would be dropping Achane immediately.
Well, I already have McCaffrey, White, Warren, James Conner, and the wide receivers are Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Devonta Smith, Ayuk, Downs, and Flowers. I would drop downs.
Drop downs. Yeah, that's
drop downs for Pittman, Claire.
Do not drop Achane. Yeah, or I'd even drop James Conner. Both of those players for Pittman.
Drop downs.
Over.
That's
fine. I'm giving.
Hold on to the running backs. Claire needs to hold on to running backs. Everybody does. It's late in the year. Paul Sands, 12-man PPR. Do I just drop Judy and try to pick up Wicks, Hyatt, P. Ryan off the waiver wire?
I'm fine with you
Jerry
dropping
Jeudy.
him for Hyatt. Jerry Jeudy has done nothing all year, and
Yeah.
I don't see him doing anything for the rest of the year. So
Do you see it's all catching on in Jersey here with when Tommy DeVito comes out, all the crowd does this. Like everyone's doing the thing, they're doing the I think it's very funny.
kudos to Tommy for branding himself and making himself very.
I'm an
lovable on
Italian
social
mama's
media.
boy. That's
It's
who I
great,
am.
man.
I'm Tommy
It's
DeVito. I
wonderful.
want to come home after the Sunday football game and mom's got a pot of sauce and she's going to do my laundry and then I sleep in the next morning.
These are the things that not only does he probably buy himself 3 to 5 years of equity, probably kicking around the NFL, even if he doesn't stay with the Giants now. This is how you get the Gardner Minshew level kind of fame, and you stay in the minds of NFL GMs.
It's true. It's definitely true.
It's true.
Look, I like Tommy
Kudos
DeVito
to
when he
him.
was at Syracuse. I like Tommy DeVito, and I thought he was a pretty good quarterback, to tell you the truth. Who was playing on
Tommy
a bad
W,
team.
baby. Tommy
And then he
W.
went to
after the last
Illinois,
few
and
weeks.
he had some moments there too. P. Bud, best rest of season defense stash: Saints, Colts, Packers, Falcons, or Texans. Now the Texans on paper are very good.
I was fixing to say, didn't we talk about this on a previous show? The
Yeah,
Texans' rest of season schedule is just pure sex. I mean,
I
it's
don't know
beautiful.
about how the Falcons stack up though. That's an interesting one because that's one I haven't done enough homework on. The Houston Texans' rest of schedule is Denver this week, then Jets, Tennessee, Cleveland, Tennessee. I mean, that's about as good as it gets.
Oh, I think the Falcons rival them, if not surpass. So this is the
Okay.
rest of the season for the Falcons: the Jets, the Buccaneers, the Panthers, the Colts, the Bears, and the Saints. Whew.
I like the Texans one better.
I like
just looking
both.
at
I think the
2
answer is
Will
grab
Levis in
both
the
and then play
playoffs.
matchups.
Give me 2 weeks against Will Levis in the playoffs. That's what y'all want.
Oh.
Let's go to Tim. Does a handcuff with Dobbs make sense? Vikings quarterbacks have the second best schedule rest of season. Hall was 678 passing. And, I don't think so.
Jaron Hall is not good. I'm sorry, Tim. I'll rest on my
PPR,
laurels
drop
there.
Lockett or Puka for Shakir or stay put. I think you stay put.
Stay put. No, Brent, you're being
Zizime or no, Zizme. Zizme 123. Can I cut bait on Damian Pierce? Yes.
Yes.
Which is depressing, but yes.
That is. That's true.
Daniel Benjamin, Palmer or Demario Douglas for the playoffs?
Hi.
Palmer. You guys think the better quarterback.
Palmer. I'm going Palmer.
Quincy Davis, do I drop Higgins for Moss? I think if you have to.
It depends on your wide receivers, but I'm not against it.
Jason Park traded Stroud and Lockett for CeeDee Lamb. Was this a good trade?
Yes.
Was.
Very nice.
Murray and Fields, my other QBs.
Very nice.
Yes,
nice.
Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
Yep.
Marinda Nicely. Would you trade Devin Singletary for Jalen Warren? Yes.
Yes.
Second. 100%.
Yeah.
Do it, Marinda. Quincy Davis. Do I drop Schultz for Pat Freiermuth? Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
They play the Broncos this. All right, fine.
I understand they
Straight
do,
up bet.
but if he's not on the field
Joey.
and Brevin Jordan keeps taking away snaps from him,
All right.
you can't score fantasy points if you're not on the field. That's a problem, D.
Who scores more
problem.
points this week, Schultz or Freiermuth? Please say Freiermuth. I want you to bet this so bad.
Well, now I'm just going to spite you. I'm going to open up a spite store and I'm going to say Freiermuth. Just to spite
you're not going to back.
Why? Because he's not going to have a touchdown against the Arizona Cardinals this week.
Right. Okay, straight
You
up.
haven't defended a tight end since 1997.
PPR points this week: Dalton Schultz over Pat Freiermuth.
Right.
Let's go.
Well, I don't want to, blow the new show that's coming out today, but we had a prediction show. Myself, Erickson, and Ryan Warmley. The first prediction was under 10 fantasy points for Dalton Schultz from Erickson. So I have to take it up with him too.
We're going to discuss this. Wait for the matchup show later this week. Me and Erickson are going to fight over that. Yep.
Shut up and game. I'm not telling you. That's just the name of the person. Should I trade Garrett Wilson for Cooper Kupp in a redraft league?
Ugh. The lesser of two evils here. I would take Kupp. I would take Kupp.
I think you do, but
yeah.
I
have no belief that Garrett Wilson gets what. Come on, what's the over-under on catchable targets per week, Joe?
That's the problem
for Garrett Wilson.
But don't worry, because Aaron Rodgers coming back in week 16.
Can we stop all that? I'm so sick of seeing Aaron Rodgers' face all over social media. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. If the Jets are making the playoffs, or if they're not making the playoffs, they're not going to be doing that. You're not coming back. Just stop. Stop.
Julius McCarter dropped Deontay Johnson for Jaden Reed.
Ooh.
That's a tough one. I
That's
say
a tough
no,
one. I
but I
say
would
no.
add
I
Jaden
agree with
Reed.
you.
There's no way Deontay's the worst guy on your team unless it's a
Yeah, I was going
10-teamer.
to say, I feel like that's a spite job.
Brent McDade. I have Bijan, Pollard, Pacheco, Kyren Williams, McLaurin,
Good Lord.
Collins, Lockett as my wide receivers. Think of trading Pollard for Waddle. Should I do it?
Mm.
Well, you have Kyren, Pacheco, Pollard, and Bijan. You could, but I don't know if I want. I mean, I don't want to say it's
I
like a
would trade
lost season for
Pacheco.
Waddle.
Pacheco and McLaurin and tier up is the way I would go because Nico is probably going to be in your
Is Waddle the
starting
tier
lineup.
up though? But that's what they
No,
want. They want. That's
no.
the thing. Well, that's the
Waddle's
heart
not
of
the
the
hero.
matter. Warren is Waddle is becoming almost like a lost season for him. He's wide receiver 28. I mean, I will say last week was very good. 8 for 114.
He has the high ceiling still weekly, but the floor is wide receiver 3-ish or a little bit lower on a weekly basis. Again, I'm going to throw out the name of Chris Olave. Chris Olave comes back from the concussion. He could be humming the rest of the year, man.
I'm okay with whatever you got to do to get Waddle here because McLaurin, Collins, Lockett is not enough. You got to trade one of those running backs because you can't start all of them. So don't trade Bijan and just get it done. B Lizard, formerly Never Was Star, just in case you were wondering. Should I drop Charbonnet or Keaton Mitchell? Why would you do that for Zach Moss?
There's got to be somebody else.
It feels like the worm is turning. Well, here's the thing. Mitchell's on a bye this week. It feels like the worm is turning. It would not shock me if they came out of the bye and Mitchell was just the guy.
Mitchell's already the guy. We saw that last week. He's the dude. Like he's going to lead the backfield. We just saw that in the last week.
So are you dropping them for Zach Moss to win this week?
I don't want to drop either one of them. I want to drop somebody else off this roster.
It's tough. It's tough, man.
There's got to be somebody else. A second defense. I even drop a kicker. I don't give a crap. Like I'm not dropping Charbonnet and I'm not dropping Mitchell.
Yeah, there's ways to. I think it's too important right now to drop those RBs. So add Moss, find another way to do it. It's Carmen. Mostert rest of season value in non-PPR is what? Wide receiver what? What is your running back what? What is your what does the crystal ball rest of season rankings say on FantasyPros? By the way, you can see them at fantasypros.com. The rest of season rankings if you have questions about these things.
RB 26, but I think anywhere between RB 23 and high end RB 3 range is viable, depending on what Achan does.
Okay. Let's go to the next one here. Frank DeMoro. Hey, pros, is Aaron Jones droppable? I don't want to drop him, but if there's something out there, like Keaton Mitchell's out there, or Charbonnet's out there, Zach Moss is out there, yes. Adrian Acuna, it's another guy too, where I think the train has left the station for Aaron Jones.
I just don't know if we see Aaron Jones the rest of the fantasy regular season, or even the playoffs. I don't know.
To quote Kevin McAllister, I don't know if I'm going to see him the rest of my whole life. Like, I don't know if we're going to see him, period. I think it's done. I think this is it.
You can always get me with a good Home Alone reference.
He's going to probably catch on somewhere else next year, and we'll chase, well, not we, but people will chase him, and it's done. It's over. This is the running back career, and he had a good one, but this is it. Adrian Acuna, I have Baltimore defense on a bye. I want to stream Atlanta. Who should I drop? Pickens, Pierce, or Mitchell? Pierce. Roberto De Regil, PPR, drop Addison for Jaden Reed or Keaton Mitchell.
Or
Mitchell, sorry.
I would drop Addison for Mitchell. You did go to Keontae.
I don't know. Because you know why? Because I'm looking ahead, and the next question's about Devontae. That's why. So in my head, I made them one person. They had a baby.
And you were on a roll. Like you pronounced the name right, everything, and then thump.
Edwin Marrero. Chase or Devontae Smith, straight up.
Smith.
Agreed. Jeffrey Ketzer. Ty Chandler didn't get that equal timeshare with Madison. Nobody got nothing last night when it came to the Minnesota Vikings. That was just, whoa. Yeah, I need a backup wide receiver, and Pittman is somehow available. Why is Michael Pittman?
People do not like Pittman, and I don't understand it. You don't like 10 grabs? You don't like
wide receiver
production?
16 on the year.
I know. Why is he out there? Why are we getting... Who spike dropped Pittman? Like, you talk about collusion and crazy things happening?
Dogs
and cats are friends. Now. Pigs are flying. Pittman's on the waiver wire. I don't know.
We're just going to run through this. Ready? Since week 8. 13 targets, 8 catches, 40 yards, touchdown. Week 9. Carolina, 8 catches on 8 targets, 64 yards. Okay, still 14 PPR points.
This while you go through these beautiful stat lines.
8 of 12, 84 yards. Last week, out of the bye, 10 catches on 13 targets for 107 yards. What, did people just drop him at the bye week? Is that what happened? Like, because they
Why is he still out there? Why didn't he get picked up before they
I
played
don't
the
know.
freaking Buccaneers?
I'm sorry. Now that I'm done having a moment here. Yes, pick up
The rest of your league needs to be broke.
Who are you dropping,
right now.
Madison or
Let's say that.
Chandler? Madison or Chandler? Who's out?
Either, both.
I would drop Madison. I still just don't believe.
I honestly would drop both. If you got Pittman out on the waiver wire, what other kind of goodies are out there?
Well, you only have to drop
Madison
one though. You got to drop one. So drop Madison. Just add Pittman. Semper Fi game or Jets defense or Denver rest of season. Denver.
I'm gonna go with Denver, and I mean
that Jets defense is going to be taxed, and they are going to quit. Okay, the season is coming to a close for the New York Jets, which means guys are booking plane reservations. They are done. It is.
Do you want to hear who they're playing after the Falcons? They get the Texans, the Dolphins, and the Commanders. All those teams are gonna. I mean, the Dolphins and Texans are gonna light them up like a Christmas tree.
Wyatt Cole traded Breece Hall and Nico Collins for Austin Ekeler last week. It's a lot to give. I also have CMC, AJ Brown, and CeeDee Lamb, 12-team PPR. I'm locked in the playoffs. Should I try and flip Ekeler for another RB?
You should. Yep.
For who? Who's that other guy? Kyren Williams. That's who he is.
If you can, but you're not going to be able to get that after this week.
Oh, I think you can. I think in most leagues, Austin Ekeler is still a dude that people don't believe in Kyren Williams. I think so.
I'll throw out another name, and I keep talking about his playoff schedule, but you could probably get Pacheco plus. His rest of season schedule, he gets the Packers, the Bills, the Patriots, the Raiders, and the Bengals. Yes, please.
Don't forget, everybody, it's the holiday season, and if you're looking for the perfect gift for yourself or somebody else, we've got it for you at Fantasy Pros. It's time to double up, and we're excited to tell you about our holiday offer for our premium tools at Fantasy Pros, because get this, for a limited time only, you can get double the length of any new subscription when you upgrade to any of our premium plans for free. You get 2 months for the price of 1 month, 12 months for the price of 6 months, or even a full extra year when you upgrade on the annual plan. And whether you're looking to make a playoff push or get premium access well into 2025, this offer is for you. So check out this offer at fantasypros.com/promo. That's fantasypros.com/promo today. Take advantage of free stuff. Double up with the holiday offer today and increase that subscription and the power of the Fantasy Pros tools. They're very powerful.
They say the perfect gift does not exist, and I don't believe them now, Joe.
They'd be wrong.
I don't believe them.
A Jeezy, pick up Moss or Aaron Jones. Who do I drop? Goddard, Taysom, Addison, or Kyler? I don't want to drop any of those guys, but if you drop one of the tight ends to pick up Moss. That's what
you drop Taysom to pick up Moss.
Gab de Bleu. Hey, bros. What do you think of Josh Jacobs? What do you think of Josh Jacobs?
He's a volume-dependent RB1, RB2.
How in the hell can you have 110 yards rushing and get 7? I mean, last week he finished with 110 yards rushing, 15 receiving yards. He was RB7. Week before he was 35, 20, and then RB2. So it's an up and down thing. But
he's going to get volume, man.
He's RB4 on the year because of that volume. So why would you want to get rid of him? He gets the Chargers, Kansas City, and Indianapolis in the playoffs for fantasy. So not bad.
Keep him. Enjoy him.
Jeffrey Ketzer, Josh Allen on a bye. That hurts. I have Howell as my backup. Any particular streamer in mind better than Howell against Miami? Tough week for streaming quarterbacks, by the way.
I would stick with Howell unless somebody's like, I'm not going to get
13 this week. Like
he's going to get volume. The matchup is terrible, but he's going to throw the ball a ton. We know that.
Yeah, it's like him or Russell Wilson. I mean, would you rather have Russell Wilson?
No, I'm taking Sam Howell.
Brian LaForte trade Derrick Henry and Garrett Wilson for Swift and PPR. So many trade questions today. I can't believe. I guess the extended schedule, people have pushed the trade deadline in a lot of leagues. Something we should. I
don't disagree with it.
I know it's just surprising. So many. So that was a. That was a yes. Trade Henry and Garrett Wilson to get Swift. Okay.
I have no faith after last week and looking at the play calling. Like, tell me you did not have the perfect run out for Derrick Henry to get 25 carries last week, and yet Tim Kelly's over there like, well, you know what we should do? Let's throw the ball in positive game script against the Carolina Panthers because that makes a lot of sense.
Jerry Medina, who would you all prefer for waiver wire pickup? Sutton, Rashee Rice, Christian Watson, Jaden Reed.
Rice or Sutton?
Sutton for me. This is another shallow league. Joe Wilson. With the
Good
Jay
problems to have.
possible injury, drop either Connor or Ford to get Moss.
Ford.
Okay. Mel Bailey. Which of you two would win in an arm wrestling match
Oh.
or in a 100-meter sprint? I'm definitely winning the sprint.
I'm definitely winning the arm wrestling match, so we'll split.
I don't know about that, my friend.
Oh, all right. Next time I'm up in Jersey, we're arm wrestling, and we're getting one of the girls to video it. That's going on social.
We have to wait. I'll see you in March in Nashville, bro. I'll see. We'll do that. John will video for social media.
We're setting it up. We're setting it up. I'm gonna win, baby.
I might not have the Erickson pipes, but dude, I gotta say,
you ain't got a chance.
Guns are getting polished.
I got you. You got me on the sprint. I've got 2 bad ankles. You see me try to run, so you got me on the sprint.
I'm still quick.
I'm gonna pull up lame like a 60-year-old man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's so sad.
Yep, but entertaining. Chelsea Charlie. I have Goedert. I had to pick up Logan Thomas for the waiver wire when he got hurt. Should I pick up a different tight end instead of Logan Thomas? Who? So Juwan Johnson this week. I know that was a streamer you guys talked about.
But
Goedert might play this week, Chelsea. So if he does, look, if Goddard's playing, you got to play Goedert because that's a big game.
He's playing full time. I mean, it's not a knee, it's not a joint, it's a broken bone. If he's good to go.
Cody Castelvecchi, Bills fan here. I'm wondering if I can get rid of a few players for potential playoff banger. I have Allen, Cook, Diggs, and Shakir.
I can't tell that you're a Bills
but
fan.
I also have Dak.
You told us.
Should I be worried about the Bills' schedule? I mean, look, the Bills are still going to put up fantasy points. But here's the thing: if you have Allen and Dak, you got to trade one of these guys to improve somewhere else. If you still have time, like you got to
trade Dak.
That's fine. Trade whoever gives you the best player back.
Yeah.
Because I think they're close enough. It doesn't matter.
Agreed.
Davey, should I trade Kupp? Yes. K King, do I drop James Conner or Aaron Jones to stream a quarterback? Jones.
And yes.
Let's go to Jet 161. Drop Mixon, pick up P Ryan and PPR. Not much left on the waiver wire. Dowdle's also available.
It's being too cute. You're still playing Mixon.
No. Jacob Hilton. I just got a trade off for half PPR. Trade away CeeDee Lamb and Aaron Jones for AJ Brown and Jerome Ford. Would you do it? I already have Jefferson and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I think Lamb and AJ Brown, it's a wash, but give me we talked about it. I don't even know if you see Aaron Jones for the rest of the regular season. So Jerome Ford could be an RB2 or a flex. Yeah, I
think Brown's gonna have a huge game against the 49ers this week. Huge. Because it was so quiet the last 2 weeks. Plus that
he's gonna go off.
Once Hufanga got hurt, this is the test. Okay. The secondary is not great for San Fran. You could throw on San Fran. Everybody is gooing themselves over the 49ers the last couple weeks. Sorry, color me pessimistic that beating the Seahawks and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers makes you some kind of juggernaut team. And you beat up on the Jaguars. The Jaguars are mid. Let's call it what it is. I want to see Brock Purdy go into Philadelphia with those lunatics on the road in Philly and go beat the Eagles. Then I will be super impressed, and I will come on this show and I will talk about how Brock Purdy is the man all day long. Until he does that, the 49ers are favored in this game, D.
I already bet the Eagles money line.
I already bet the Eagles too.
I bet the Eagles money line. Like I've said it before, and I will say it again. Jalen Hurts has been him. Jalen Hurts is him.
MVP.
He's MVP.
He's MVP. Not Dak Prescott. Not Dak Prescott. Not Patrick Mahomes. Not me. Not Hermione. Hurts. That is who MVP is, Derek Brown. See, I did their little Harry Potter.
I agree with you, Dobby.
I saw the most amazing t-shirt, by the way, Christmas t-shirt. It said, all I want for Christmas is not me, not Hermione, you. I thought that was the greatest t-shirt ever.
That's so good.
All right, let's go to Davey's question. Is Kupp droppable? No, trade him. Somebody will take him.
Trade him. Yep.
I tell you, you could get Zay Flowers for him right now in 9 out of 10 leagues. And I would be happy rest of season because I think my patience with Calvin Ridley and Zay Flowers through many trying weeks is starting to pay off. These last 2 weeks have been very exciting for those of us who held true.
I really feel like all of the offseason takes are all coming back to roost now. Like Mondre's doing the damn thing. Tony Pollard's breaking tackles. Zay's looking great. Calvin Ridley's scoring touchdowns. Like, do I wish we would have had this at week 4, week 5? Sure. Am I glad it's happening now, baby? Sam.
Well, that's why sometimes you got to trust the process a little bit. And that's why you can't overreact too much. It is a long season, but you also have to, continue to make the moves as they come around here and as things start to evolve. The biggest thing that I think hurt this season is the quarterback play. The downgrades at quarterback, the quarterback injuries, that kind of stuff really hurts offenses collectively. So that has been just huge and made a huge impact on the Garrett Wilsons of the world and a host of others that we had expectations for. When you downgrade a quarterback the way the Jets have, the Bengals have, so many teams, the Minnesota Vikings have, it's going to affect the fantasy community as a whole in all these players. So that's something that you can't prepare for. But hopefully you did get a lot of these things right. And if you still got a lot of leagues you're trying to juggle, don't forget about the multi-league assistant over at FantasyPros. Download the app today, the Fantasy Football My Playbook app, or go to fantasypros.com/myplaybook. That's how you make sure you get ready for your playoff push, whether it be waivers, these last-minute trade deadlines that are going on right now. This is the tool that you need. Manage every league you have from one platform. Condense it all. That's how we do it at Fantasy Pros. Been a fun show today. Talked a little bit of ball here with the waiver wire. Talked some trades. Talked some real football too, which is why we're here at the end of the day. So hope everybody had a good time. We'll be back again on Thursday to do it all again at 3 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you subscribe. Drop the comment below. Win that Jonathan Taylor jersey. And make sure you ring that bell so you know every time a live stream happens or a piece of content drops here on the most amazing channel for fantasy football and fun. We are Fantasy Pros. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For Derek Brown and our producer, John, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids.